So many of us live inside an invisible prison. I'm reminded of the poem from Rumi when he says, why do we stay in prison when the door is wide open? So we live inside an invisible prison. We can't see the door. This is a prison not of walls or bars, but of stories. Stories about who we are. Stories about who other people are. Stories about what our life is supposed to look like. So today I want to explore a simple but radical possibility, and that is that awakening into real freedom begins when your sense of self is no longer chained to a story about you or about anyone else. Shall we explore this? So from childhood, we develop a script, by the way, as soon as we're given a name. I am the responsible one. I am the failure. I am the spiritual one. I am too much. I am not enough. At first, these stories help us organize a confusing world. But over time, they become our cage, our prison. We don't just have a story, we start to believe we are the story. And when the story is threatened by criticism, by cancel culture, by rejection, by change, by any crisis, we feel like we are under attack. When other people don't fit the story we hold about them, we get frustrated, disappointed, resentful, and start attacking them on social media, everywhere. It's part of our culture right now. Wow, notice how exhausting this is. You're constantly editing, defending, updating the narrative of me and them just to feel okay, just to feel normal. But what if the basic assumption is backwards? What if you're not the story of your life, but the awareness in which every story appears and disappears? Think of last week. You had a different mood, a different set of problems, even maybe a different version of yourself. Those came and went, but something in you was continuously present, quietly aware through any change. That quiet presence is here right now, listening to these words or watching this video. It was there before your current story. It will be there after this chapter of your life ends. It isn't improved by praise and it isn't diminished by blame. Awakening then is not about creating a better story. It's about recognizing what you are beyond every story. So how does freedom actually show up in an ordinary day? It doesn't mean you stop having thoughts like I always mess this up or they never understand me. It means that thoughts no longer have the final say on who you are or what is possible. A painful story arises, I'm unlovable. Instead of fusing with it, you notice, that's an old narrative showing up again. The moment you notice, a little space opens. Someone criticizes you. Instead of immediately defending your persona, you might feel the sting and also be curious. What's actually true here? What can I learn? You're no longer protecting a fragile image. You realize other people's opinions are just their stories. Okay? Anybody who has an opinion about you is their story. You can respect them, listen to them, even be moved by them without letting them define your worth or your identity. So in all of this, your sense of self shifts from my story to this open, aware presence that can hold any story gently without being trapped by it. Let's taste this together, just for a minute. If it's comfortable, you can close your eyes, otherwise just soften your gaze. Take a slow, easy breath in and a slow breath out. Now bring to mind a story you often tell about yourself. Maybe I'm always anxious, or I'm the one who has to hold everything together, or I'm behind in life. You have innumerable stories, so go ahead. Feel how that story lands in your body. Notice the sensations, tightness, heaviness, pressure. Now ask very simply, who is aware of this story? Not the words, not the images, but the awareness that knows them. Can you sense that what you truly are is this open knowing and the story is something appearing within it? For a moment, let the story be allowed just as it is, but don't make it your identity. Rest as the space in which it appears. In this space, before you explain yourself, is anything missing? Does this awareness need a better past to be complete? Does it need everyone to approve of who you are in order to be whole? Or is it already quietly sufficient right here? Freedom doesn't mean your personality disappears or your history stops mattering. You still have preferences, relationships, responsibilities. The difference is you live them more lightly. You can rewrite your story without fear because you know you're not confined to it. You can allow other people to change because you're no longer clinging to who you've decided they are. You can meet each moment more freshly from the truth of what you are now, not the script you memorized years ago. When your sense of self is no longer defined by the story of your person, or persona as they call it, or by the stories you hold about others, something profound opens. A taste of your natural freedom. It's not far away. It's not reserved for a few. It is this simple noticing practiced in the middle of your very human life again and again. You might just want to take a few minutes to journal. What are the top 3 stories I used to define myself? And who am I without them? Just try it for a moment.